I just told him, no, we won't be in this situation again. I promise you that. I could promise you that. Because I'm not happy with nothing right now. Nothing.
Advised, my OnlyFans is now 20% off.
Weirdos are gonna come after y'all.
Prime got draws, man. What's wrong with y'all? Prime got draws with great packaging.
Oh no. Mm-mm. I don't know who told you that.
Colorado's defensive back room is starting to look really scary. And shout out to my man Darius Darden. My man is back there cooking. Buff Nation. We need to talk about this defense for a second. Because while everybody's been locked in on the trenches, and yes, the trenches are getting stacked, something just as important has been happening quietly on the back end of this defense. Colorado's defensive back room, yeah, that thing is starting to look really scary. Not we added one nice piece scary. Not hopefully this works out scary. This is a full secondary reload. Let's look at the names. Boo Carter from Tennessee, Randon Fontenette from Vanderbilt, Naeten Mitchell from New Mexico State, Justin Eagland from James Madison, Emory Floyd from App State, Cree Thomas from Notre Dame. 6 different programs, 6 different defensive systems, 6 different skill sets, all coming into one secondary. That's not random recruiting. That's intentional roster construction. Let's start with the headliner. Boo Carter speed, confidence, and speed, and position flexibility. Boo Carter brings the kind of speed and swagger that modern defenses love. He's not locked into one box. He can line up in the slot, rotate to safety, and give you juice on special teams. In today's game, offenses are constantly hunting mismatches. They move receivers, stack formations, and force defenses to communicate. Having a DB who can cover quick routes, close space fast, and still tackle when plays break down, that's valuable. And Carter plays with confidence. He's not hiding from contact. He's not playing scared. That matters when you're trying to set a physical tone on defense. Now let's talk about Randon Fontenette, SEC discipline and physicality. Coming from Vanderbilt, this is a DB who's used to playing assignment sound football against serious competition. He understands leverage, spacing, and when to attack downhill. This is the kind of player who communicates in coverage, fits the run correctly, doesn't blow assignments trying to chase highlights. Every defense needs energy guys and steady guys. Fontenette brings that steady, grown man football to the secondary, especially in red zone and short yardage situations where mistakes get punished fast. Then you got Naeten Mitchell from New Mexico State. Length, ball skills, and upside. This is where you start seeing the developmental chess pieces. Mitchell brings length, athleticism, and ball skills, the kind of traits coaches love to build around when pass rush improves. With better pressure up front, defensive backs can focus on technique, footwork, and attacking the football instead of playing survival defense every snap. Mitchell is the kind of DB who can grow into bigger responsibilities as the defense stabilizes. And depth like that matters over a long season. Now let's talk about Justin Eagland from James Madison. Physical, downhill, and is not afraid to hit. This is where things start getting spicy. Eaglin is physical. He's downhill. He's not trying to run. Slot receivers take jet sweeps. Running backs bounce plays outside. Safeties and nickels have to tackle. And Eaglin gives you that tone-setting presence that helps clean up plays when the front seven forces cutbacks. This is the kind of DB that turns 5-yard gains into 2-yard gains, and that adds up over 4 quarters. Then you've got Emory Floyd from App State. This is a guy who brings toughness and versatility, the type of DB who can handle different assignments depending on the game plan, whether it's slot coverage, blitz packages, or special teams roles. Floyd gives the staff flexibility. And flexibility is huge when you're building depth because injuries happen, fatigue happens, and rotations win games in November. You need players who can step in without the whole defense falling apart. And finally, Cree Thomas from Notre Dame. This is where long-term planning comes in. Thomas brings size, athletic tools, and experience being in a high-level defensive system. Even if he's not starting immediately, he gives Colorado a player who understands preparation, film study, and competition at a high level. And not every portal ad has to be an instant star. Some are about depth, development, and future flexibility. And those players matter just as much when you're building sustainable success. Now, here's the part fans should really pay attention to. Colorado isn't stacking defensive back S in isolation. They're stacking defensive line, edge rusher, and linebackers, and now secondary depth. That's not random. That's understanding how defense actually functions. When the pass rush improves, defensive back don't have to cover forever. When linebackers clean up lanes, safeties aren't forced into emergency tackles. When a defensive back holds coverage, edge rushers can actually finish plays. Defense is a chain reaction. And right now, Colorado is strengthening every link in that chain. Last season, too often it felt like the defense was just trying to survive. Coverage breakdowns, missed tackles, quarterbacks running free. This portal cycle tells a completely different story. It says, we're building layers, not just starters, not just emergency fixes, actual competition. And when competition rises, practice intensity rises, development accelerates, accountability improves. That's how programs change identity. Let's not ignore the bigger picture. After everything last season, some people thought Colorado would struggle to attract defensive talent. Instead, SEC defensive back S still choosing Boulder. Group of 5 standouts still choosing Boulder. Power programs still sending players to Boulder. That tells you players still believe in the coaching, the opportunity, and the development path. That's not something you can fake. So yeah, the DB room is getting scary. Not because of one superstar, but because of depth, versatility, and variety of skill sets. Speed, physicality, upside, competition. And when you combine that with the trench rebuild happening up front, now you're talking about a defense that can actually control games instead of chasing them. Big 12 quarterbacks better be ready, because this secondary is no longer just surviving.